Good evening, mentorship traders. We are on the evening of 26th of June 2020. Our Friday evening session, like always, 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. I welcome all our newcomers who have joined our community this week. On Friday evening session, we generally first talk about the overall markets, the benchmark, Nifty sectors, essentially the view for the week ahead, and then later we take up your doubts, questions, queries, trades, etc. So, starting off with Nifty, this is the long-term charts, the monthly chart of Nifty futures, and sorry, this is Nifty spot, and the red channel is holding well. In fact, the month of June so far, with just a couple of days of trading left, we have a very promising, encouraging 8.5% move this month so far. It's turned out really well. The bounce back for the index have so far shown very good resilience. And as I was probably saying in one of our live market sessions, that it's very very strange that this cannot be a very well-defined bear market, because your biggest heavyweight stock of your exchange is not only at a life high but continues to show enormous strength, which is Reliance Industries. So we should look at the fact that 10,000 psychological level was taken out. We did see some noise, some drama when it attempted first time early the first week of June. But now, as we come close to the end of the month, it's holding exceptionally well above that psychological mark, which is a good sign. This is a weekly chart of Nifty. And going back to the daily chart, you can clearly see that we had a Fibonacci confluence close to that 10,380, that's 10,400 and 10,500 range. And we've been expecting that the index will test these kind of levels on the upside, and it has. We've seen a bit of profit taking, bit of exhaustion on Wednesday, Thursday. Today, it opened well. It kind of held on also all right. But clearly, the index is dealing with resistances. There's no doubt about it. I feel that the index will consolidate now. It's not going to be movement in terms of direction, but probably movement more in terms of time. That is a consolidation slash correction possible. If I show you the 75-minute time frame, we are very much within the channel that I had drawn using a relative strength index. And I feel that it will try its best to go back to its previous high, but as it continues to attempt going back to its previous highs, which are the recent high would be the high of Wednesday, close to 10,550. I feel that it will tire out more and more, which means that I personally strategically will be looking for shorting opportunities more than longs. And even if we get some good long trades, my anticipation expectation from these long trades will be limited compared to the short trades, because I sense that the index will respect these levels for sure. Looking at the sectoral performance for the last 1 week, before I go to the sectoral performance, I should share some levels with you. So on the downside, 10,200, which is the expiry day, your Thursday is low, which is 10,194. Let's call it 10,200 to remember round number, is definitely a level to watch for on the downside. If 10,200 reaches and stays below that level for a day or two, that's not a good sign. That clearly is a sign that the index will react furthermore and try and come down to 10K again. That should be your first worry point, slipping below 10,200. On the upside, of course, 10,550, 10,600 where our long-term average lies. It's come extremely close to the 10,600 mark. That's the kind of levels that you should work for. Now, membership traders, I would like to share with you that on the weekly chart, we have a hook short setup on the Nifty. So, which clearly suggests that the index is likely to get, I would say, tired, which will lead to consolidation and or correction. So it's likely to be consolidation first and then maybe correction. But if it corrects, we need to figure out from which pocket of the sectors that might come. So let's look at the sectors now that we have taken a view on the Nifty. This week, amongst the losers, it's Nifty real estate. That's the only weekly loser. And on the gainer side, PSU banks up 6% this week. Strong move. FMCG, thanks to ITC moving for two days pretty well, has gone up close to 4%. IT gave a very good move today, throughout the day. Then we have the small and mid caps, metal, energy. Where is Nifty? Nifty is 1.5%. Okay. Now let's look into this. Your benchmark Nifty is 1.5%, and I think this is for the third consecutive week. We can clearly see that the mid and small caps have outperformed the benchmark significantly, almost twice. I'm going to reiterate this fact that this is a good sign. This is a good sign in the sense that for almost 3 weeks and throughout this month of June, the gains that we have seen, it has not been primarily from just one or two sectors, but the broader markets have started to participate. The sectoral relay is happening. That's completely okay. That's natural. But the small and mid caps have come in. From a longer perspective, let's say a long-term perspective, I think it's a good thing. From a short-term perspective, I think that my sense that the markets are going to get tired is very likely to be true in the coming couple of weeks' time, because now the focus is more into the smaller and mid-cap stocks. So the large caps, which matter to the index, might slow down. So short term, I think we are looking for a dip. Longer term, this is a good thing that market participants have found the faith. I would say they are comfortable. The sentiment is not as bad as it used to be a couple of months back. So PSU banks being the top gainer doesn't give a lot of encouragement, honestly. FMCG to a lot of extent, yes, and we've been talking about multiple times how the 30,000 level for the FMCG and Nifty FMCG is very important. And for that, Hindustan Unilever and ITC needs to play a role. ITC has bounced back. Hindustan Lever too have given a breakout. I think FMCG, IT, and we do talk about pharma a lot, will continue its role. Few weeks it will be pharma's turn. Few weeks it will be IT. Like this time, it's more of IT and FMCG, pharma towards the end of the list. But I think these three sectors, defensives to a lot of extent, will continue to play the role going forward. So we have to keep an eye which day or which week we can expect which one to do better. I'm quite surprised with the move that IT has given, because I'm closely watching the levels of 15K for the Nifty IT, which I sense should act as a zone of resistance. Let's see whether today's move the index manages to sustain or not. But I would like to tell you that I'm looking at Nifty Auto as a possible sector to go short next week, because I sense that the sector is tired. The small and mid caps are also likely to correct faster. If the Nifty gives a dip next week, then the mid and small caps will correct more. The outperformance and the underperformance will be more from both the pockets. And between the PSU banks and private sector banks, if the Nifty comes down, then I feel that both these pockets, that is the bank Nifty, the private sector, and the PSU banks, will also come down. So I'm keeping a close watch on private sector banks, PSU banks, and I would say auto as a prospective short, pockets to go short. IT, FMCG, and pharma, I will not be looking to go short. I'll be looking to keep my bias on the positive side only. Let's quickly take a look at the Bank Nifty, which is more or less same as the behavior of Nifty, 1.5% up. Bank Nifty has managed to give a move up above that 22,000 mark, but it slipped significantly. We're looking at the weekly chart, and this is the daily chart. We remember that Bank Nifty so far has not performed as well as the Nifty. You remember Nifty is coming close to its long-term average, where Bank Nifty is significantly away from it. In fact, Bank Nifty is struggling at the 38% Fibonacci itself, and the Nifty has almost taken out more than 50% of its fall. A big role for this is played by Reliance Industries. There you go, stock hitting a new life high and holding exceptionally well. I think that the rally from the stock is going to continue for sure. There's no doubt about it. It did pay respect to the Fibonacci 261.8 projection, and I'll be drawing some further levels on the upside to figure out how far can it extend. But nevertheless, if we go back to conclude this analysis on the Nifty, number one, the worry point is we have a hook set up on the weekly. Okay, it's a proper valid hook setup on the weekly. The hook gets triggered below 10,180. That is this week's low. Expiry day's low is also 10,181. That is yesterday. So essentially, I think 10,180 for the Nifty future is going to play a role going forward. On the other hand, index has the potential to go above 10,600. We might get some clarity on Monday, Tuesday, because today on the Nifty future, it's an inside bar, as you can clearly see. So a breakout above Thursday's range, which is 10,360, 10,180, is going to be some directional clarity for the rest of the week, or at least for Monday, Tuesday, and let's say a better half of Wednesday also. I personally strategically will be looking to go more on the short side the coming week than on the long side. And again, long trades will be limited in time and anticipation. Short trades, on the other hand, will be slightly longer time frame. Let's see what's in store for us the week ahead. Now, let's move ahead and talk about your trades, your doubts, and your questions.